Herzlich willkommen hier auf der Twitch TV Stage. Gregor ist am Start, ich bin am Start und Filippo, natürlich. Filippo von Nintendo. Nice to have you here.
Thank you very much for
And
having me.
he's here. I switched to English because it's his preferred language. He's here because he brought us a nice game, a little game that's in development. Maybe you heard from it. It's called Xenoblade Chronicles X.
I've been waiting all year to play this game, so I've almost finished the first one.
Yeah.
Just played over hundreds of hours, and then I have some to spare when it comes out. When is it? December.
Yes, the game is coming out in December. Exactly.
The localized version.
The localized
I think
version.
in Japan it's already out, right?
Exactly. So the game is already out in Japan, and in US and Europe it will come out in December. We are still working on the localization of the game because, as you can imagine, in such a big game there's hundreds and hundreds of lines. There's a lot of dialogue. The game will be, the language of the dialogues will be in English, but of course the text will be subtitled in German as well, and also all the other European languages. I mean, French, Italian, Spanish.
Can you already say if it's going to be in British English like the first one? Because I kind of like this.
Well, some of the voices are British English, some of the voices are American English. I mean, the settings is a bit different because here we're talking about the last remnants of humanity after planet Earth has been destroyed. They are all on a spaceship that crashes on the planet Mira, and this city where you're in, which is basically the last part of humanity, is called the New Los Angeles. So of course more voices will be American, but also some of the voices will be British, because it's in the future all the world living together.
All the immigrants.
This leads to my first question, because the first game was like in this crazy world where two titans, I call them,
Exactly.
fought, and they kind of,
they died while fighting.
Yeah. And they made the world up. So you started at the feet, and you fought your way up,
Exactly.
and then you crossed where the swords crossed, and moved on to the other one. I thought it was like one of the best ideas I ever saw in a video game for a world to
It was
explore.
really cool. I really
So
liked it.
how do you come from this absolutely crazy idea to New Los Angeles? Not that I don't like it, but it's just so different.
I mean, it's a completely different universe.
Yes.
It's a sequel in the way that the gameplay builds up on the previous one, but this is the future of our real universe in a way.
Okay.
So
it's on Earth.
It's no, Earth has been destroyed. But it is our universe. It's not a fantasy world. It's our universe in the future.
Okay.
So as I was saying, there are some similarities mainly in the combat system. And of course we can see here actually there is one type of character that comes back. You can see there it's the Nopons.
Yes.
That are, but in this game they are simply an alien race that lives on the planet Mira, which is the place where we are playing right now.
So the character you're controlling, this time around you're creating yourself a character.
Exactly.
You don't have some set character like Shulk from the first game?
So because there is a big part that is online of the game, we decided to have the main character is you, basically. In fact, this character is called Filippo, and the party members are given to you by the storyline. So there is Elma and Lynn. Elma is actually my boss in the game, and she's there on my right. And Lynn is here. These are just two of the characters. Like there's quite a lot of character that you can play during the storyline that you can have as members of your party during the story, but you only control your own character, and you create your own character.
Okay.
So can you then give instructions for the AI? So
Yes.
please do it like this, do it like this. Don't spend all my hard-earned mana and points and everything.
Yeah, so while you're fighting, you can give instructions to your party members whether to focus on one target, or to stay away, or to use more melee attacks, or to use more arts, for example.
Yeah. I would say it would be easier you just start, show us, and then when we come to each points, we can go a little bit into detail.
Sure.
Yeah?
So I'm just gonna take a quest. This is a small side quest, so no spoilers, even though we are in a fairly advanced part of the game.
How far advanced are we right now?
Well, in the storyline, we are fairly advanced, but it's tough to say in the sense that as for the previous game, you can spend hundreds of hours just doing side quests, and advance the storyline very slowly. So as regard to the story, we are almost we are toward the end, but of course the game has much more than just the main story parts. It's been especially the all online component that comes on top of that as well.
Okay. So in terms of size, would you say it's equally as big as the first one, or?
Yeah, I would say even. I mean, the size of the world is much bigger, geographically.
Yeah.
In amount of hours, I would say you can spend easily 200 hours if you want playing the game. If you want to do every side quest, if you want to kill every special monster, for example. And so I just took, as I said, a small heart-to-heart quest. So heart-to-hearts also come back as a concept from the previous game, but here you can really have a full quests, full missions.
Could you explain what the heart-to-heart quests are?
Yeah, basically these are quests that increase the relationship, that improve the relationship between characters or with members of the city. So in Xenoblade Chronicles X, you have a complex map of relationships of every character and how they are connected to each other, and also all the non-playable characters. How
a special advantage to go around like a vehicle there instead of flying just
when
everywhere?
you first get the scale license, you cannot fly on them.
Okay.
You can only walk on the ground and transform into a vehicle. Then when you proceed a little bit on the story, then you also get the license to fly on them, basically.
So when you can fly so high that you can leave the
city, yeah.
The city and explore the world?
Exactly. So, I mean, you can go outside of the city on foot. It just takes a little bit longer. So,
what's up with the fuel at the site? How long do you have to tank them up? Do you have to search for a gas station?
Basically, when you're there is a resource. There are a lot of resources that you can collect in the world, and this also plays a part into the exploration, which is a big focus in this game. When I land, I will show you. Actually, if I land in the city, I will go back down to the city. And
it looks up to now pretty much seamless. So loading times, or is it just everything in the background?
If I teleport somewhere with the minimap, I will have a loading time. But if I simply move from one place to the other, I have no loading time for the whole world. So actually, let me show you. Now you see that the fuel level, actually not here. Sorry, I have to go somewhere else. But if I am in the, if I'm flying, it goes down. But if I go here, this is the Blade Center, so it's the place where you start your work to reclaim this planet. Sorry, I'll just go down again. So here, if I wait here for a while and I go out of my skull, it should start going up again. You see the fuel goes up again. So you use fuel only when you fly or when you fight in the robots. So in the skulls, when you fight, every ability costs fuel. In this way, you cannot basically use them for forever infinitely.
Can you improve the fuel by I don't know, finding parts or upgrading your suit or something like that?
Well, you get more fuel. Well, you can improve the consumption, but mainly you get more fuel by exploring the world and planting probes into the earth, basically.
It's a bit of a throwback, so of course they're not related, but I was a big fan of Xenogears back then on the PlayStation 1. And that's of course a lot of content with the fuel, with the skulls to get in and out, so it reminds me quite a bit of that.
Yes, it's true. I mean, the Xeno games always have some elements that put them in common, but as you know, they're always
not
in very
really
different
connected.
worlds. Yes, exactly. So you can see here I'm in the first of the 5 continents of the game, and this continent is called Primordia. And it's a continent full of beasts that are a mix between prehistoric beasts, like you can see that giant guy over there, and animals. So they try to give them an alien look while making them look familiar as well.
But they have those animals in Los Angeles right now. I saw them.
They play for the football team.
No, they have them. I saw them. That's Bob right there.
Okay. And here we have like some more like these look more like the alien version of a pig probably. And just to show you how big the scales are and how big the scale of the world, if I go out, you can see that I'm fairly tiny compared to these guys.
Oh, yeah.
And if I jump back in,
they are tiny.
Yeah, they are tiny now.
So
yes.
if you should leave your skulls somewhere far back and then you come across an enemy who's quite really big, is there a button to call them, or do you have to walk back?
No,
and
you
then
would have to run back to them. Also, I mean, the scale of the enemies is divided so that these giant enemies, if they are even like it's normal, like in Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii, to find enemies that are maybe 50, 60 levels higher than you in certain places. Like this is the initial area, and this is a level 50 enemy. So when I am level 2, this guy will not attack me automatically.
It will auto.
It will not
It
attack
will not,
me
because
automatically.
it will kill you with
because
the
yeah, I mean
inside.
it would make no sense for the gameplay. So usually bigger enemies, when they see a skull, then maybe they try to attack it because maybe they're looking for the challenge or they feel threatened by it, but they don't attack the characters when they are on foot.
We're not even worthy.
And the same, smaller enemies will not attack me if I'm on a skull because they know that they have no chance.
Okay.
Up on the right corner, you have the clock.
Yes.
So you have a clock that goes in real, not quite real time, but as you see, we're now in the middle of the night. We have to wait for some quests to become day and everything.
Yeah,
so it's very important.
It's roughly, not exactly, but roughly 1 second of real time corresponds to 1 minute in the game. So in about 24, sorry, now I'm mixing it up. Yeah, maybe in about 24 minutes you have a day cycle.
So and when it's day, there are different animals.
Exactly.
And stuff going on.
When during the day or during the night you have different animals. Also, you have animals that maybe are not aggressive during the day, but they become aggressive during the night. And also, if I press the menu button, you see now there you have weather effects clear. There are weather effects they are much more prevalent here than in the previous title. And there are enemies that only come out when there's a heavy rain, or some enemies in the desertic area, they come out when there is a sandstorm. And also, you have much different abilities during certain weather effects. So when it's heavy rain, all the electrical attacks will do much more damage to you, for
great,
example.
Awesome. Tell me, what I loved about the first game was that you could venture to a far part of the map, and then suddenly there was this one occasion where a giant creature came from the ground up, and I had like a boss fight.
Here in this beam of light, I can plant a probe, and this will first of all unlock all the map around it. I will be able to see what it is. It will inform me if there is some enemy or some special quest that I can do in that part. But also it will give me fuel or miranium, the special metal that exists on the planet Mira.
But you have to activate it.
I have to activate it, and at the moment I can't because you need to level up the mechanical skill for this, and I don't have mechanical level 5 at the moment. So this particular probe...
How do you level it up?
By progressing through certain side quests and certain story quests.
Okay.
And also simply by collecting more.
So it's always important to unlock new sites, implant your stuff there.
Exactly.
So you get. How's the world divided here? So is it kind of like invisible barriers, so to speak? Normally, everything you should see there, you should be able to go back there. It was the first game.
So if I want to go over the cliff at the end that I see on the back, I can simply fly there and I go there.
Okay.
To this, you can go there?
Yes, yeah, of course you can. Yeah. And that's the beauty of it, is that I'm on the ground. As a human, I don't have access to skulls. I see a layer of the world. Then I get access to skulls, I can fight bigger monsters. Then when I can fly, I can go back to areas that I already visited on foot, and I have a complete new layer of world that I can explore, because normally I cannot get there anywhere but flying.
So I guess, or maybe are there any places that you only can reach if you have gathered enough fuel, because you normally wouldn't get there?
Well, you can see that we've been traveling quite a lot, and the fuel is still quite full. Fuel you mostly need for fighting.
Okay.
I mean,
that's the end of the game. You have enough fuel, so we can fly back to Earth and see or if it's still there.
Well, we see, unfortunately, we see in the initial cutscene that the planet explodes completely, so there is really nothing left there. Also, you see here that there are enemies that are much higher level that are flying on this part, and I'm only level 41. You can see up there the green bar on the upper left side is the level of each of my characters. So actually, these skulls are level 41. I'm level 40.
So you're scared right now?
Well, I'm not going to go there. I'm actually going to teleport toward the continent of Noctilum, which is the place where we can take on that quest that I took at the beginning.
Okay, I want to see some battle. I want to fight some monsters.
Yeah. So
Can you find different suits, or do you find just the one and that's yours for the rest of the game?
you have to buy them actually. So
Oh, okay.
at the beginning you unlock a level 30 skulls, and also each skull has these are light skulls, and
Yes.
I can have medium and heavy skulls as well. They look much different. They look much bulkier, of course. Then I can unlock level 40 or level 50 skulls, which are much more powerful as well.
Okay.
So this is Noctilum, which is more like a jungle rather than like a plain, like the one that was before. And I can follow the arrow that you see, the yellow arrow on the minimap, but I can also use this new feature, which is this ball of light that guides me toward the quest that I need to take on. So let me try to drive a little bit there and see. I particularly, sorry, I just want to stop because this is one of my favorite enemies of the game. Looks like an elk made of plants, basically.
Looks a little bit like the creatures from the Dark Crystal movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jim Henson movie.
I'm being
same
attacked.
hairstyle.
I'm being attacked, but I'm
Same
just flying
hairstyle.
away.
Exactly.
And so I'm going to trigger the next part of the quest. In this quest, we have to basically find a race of evil aliens, a sentient race that has an army on this planet. And let me just try to get there.
What are you collecting? Those diamonds?
It's like the orbs in the Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii. It's just the items. They are
Okay.
represented like that in the game world. So let me get to the quest area. Okay, here we are. I'll get out of my skull and okay, so it's this fire. We are looking for some ganglions, which is one of the many alien races. And Tatsu, the Nopon character, is basically part of the storyline. He is a guest. He helps you out, but you don't control him. You don't. I mean, he's not part of your party members that fight. He's always giving you basically insights on the world of Mira because he's a native of the world, and he's helping you out around the world. Also, you can take decisions during quests. So here I can maybe suggest I take a look around, or I can maybe tell, look, I heard something, so let's prepare. Maybe there's a fight is coming up.
You have this little emoticons over the head, so if the decision decides how the characters stand to each other. Yeah?
Yeah, certain characters like certain behaviors more than others. So maybe you take a decision and one character is happy and the other isn't, and vice versa. You can also really decide the destiny of some of the side quest characters. Sometimes you make a decision, people go somewhere and they get killed. So these guys are the ganglions. And they are basically talking about other people that they've been fighting. And we are simply spying at the moment.
Wow. The hair.
Yeah, he has a lush
Yes.
hairdo. So Elma is the head of this party. We are members of the Blade organization, which is basically the way that humanity decided to organize themselves to explore and
They
save the
fell in
world.
love with you.
No, they just like my decision.
Oh, they liked your decision.
Yeah.
Okay.
So much, so very much.
Would be awesome if this was happening in real life. That somebody says and a heart appears about that.
So I'm gonna
Make things
now.
much easier.
I'm going to start a fight now on foot. And on foot I have arts, very similar to Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii. So I start the fight. And in this game I have both ranged weapons and melee weapons. I can change at any time. So I can press a button and I'm now in melee. I'm auto-attacking at the moment. But I have all these arts that you see down there. And each of them has a lot of different effects. So for example, I tell the enemies to attack me with one art that draws rage, and then I use a melee attack that's very strong, There's a lot going on screen if you've never seen the game, of course.
Yeah. So all the skills you got there, of course, you don't have them from the beginning.
No.
Is there something like a skill tree where you can select which one you get, or is it like you're gaining the levels and then it unlocks?
You have your character can change class. You have many different character classes, and each class has a different set of arts, basically, that you can use. Also, there is. You might notice that sometimes my party members they shout something. You see a text box with a color. If I these colors correspond to a specific art. If I use that art at the right moment, I can heal my characters. Because there is very little ways. It's quite difficult to heal your characters unless you basically use the right ability at the right moment. There are very few abilities that simply heal you straight away. You have to either do something at the right moment or press the B button when that circle appears in the center of the screen.
But your three followers from your party, you don't tell them what to do. They fight for themselves.
Well, normally they would fight for themselves, yes. But I can basically give them orders that change their behavior. But normally they're controlled by the AI.
Can you really pick the arts they should use, or do you just generally say go aggressive, go defensive?
You can do both. So while you fight, you can tell them which behavior to take. But if I go into the menu, I can select each art that they have available. I cannot control when they use them, but I can simply equip exactly what I want them to use, and then they will use that.
Okay.
So now I go back to the skulls, and I go to the next part, because I want to show you how you fight in the skulls. And so arts are part of the character classes when you are on foot. When you are on skulls, each item that you put on the skull gives you a different ability. So I can maybe go briefly into the menu and show you. If I'm in the party and so these arts, these are part of my class. This is because I'm a samurai gunner, and these are the arts that I have. I have my bar, I can select them. But if I go into the skull equipment, each one of these, actually you see, for example, this weapon gives me that red art that is flashing down. This other weapon gives me this blue one. So if the items I have on the skull change the abilities I have on the skull. It's not the character class.
Okay, and it's not like that if you carry the equipment long enough and fight with it that you retain the skill and can select it without the equipment. Just you put the equipment out there, exchange it, and you have a new skill.
So skulls depend on items, and the human characters depend on the class, basically.
Okay.
When you're a human, you can also level up a specific art and make it stronger, for example. So let me again go to the next part. This giant tentacle flying away. Okay, not away enough because he's still attacking me. But
so if you fight enemies that are very, very big with the humans, of course you shouldn't have any chance to beat them. But if you manage it, do you gain more experience, or is it something if you just kill little enemies with the skulls then it's like nothing? So do you have to select appropriately all the time?
It's a very good question, actually. When you are a human, you can try to tackle some of the giant monsters, but it's really like the class of damage. Like really, it's a different order of damage. It becomes very hard unless you are massively over-leveled compared to them, basically. And even then, it can become quite hard. So now, I have to get into this cave, where I find Shark's Jaws is the area. So these are the people you'll see now in the quest line. The aliens, the evil aliens, the Ganglion, they were talking about these two characters that we see here. These are side characters. They're not incredibly important for the story, but they're really nice. We have this giant beast that actually has a voice of a child, and he's a very non-violent guy. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. And this young girl that instead is like a very aggressive, very powerful, strong character. You just come upon them. And now I have this big fight ahead of me with 6 or 7 characters, and I'm gonna fight on the skulls. Now actually I'm gonna jump on them automatically. So let's start. So you can see that when I'm a skull, it's really, really hard for them to do any damage to me. Sometimes you get thrown into the cockpit. This is from inside the skull. It happens when you're doing like some special damage.
Okay, so you can't just push a button and do the cockpit side. It happens if you do it.
No, it happens in special conditions, basically.
Are there enemies, or of course, if it would be a spoiler, then don't talk about it. But do you have enemy skulls there, or something different in battle there?
Well, as you can see, you are not the only sentient race. You're not the only creatures with an intelligence and a language and a civilization and an army and maybe machinery even.
Okay.
Did you just make like 30k damage?
Yeah, I mean there are some abilities that destroy. I mean they are on foot, so I mean it's really unfair what I'm doing right now.
Yes.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
It's very
Should be
unfair.
ashamed.
I don't like that.
But I still want to show you. Also, you can see down in the bar that each attack costs a certain amount of fuel. So this costs 30 fuel. The pulse laser also costs 30 fuel. And again, each of them has a different properties. And there is a lot of bonus effects if you're attacking maybe from the front or from the side, from far away or from close. Even here, I can switch to a melee weapon or a ranged weapon. I have these giant claws in my robot, which look really cool. And when you can see I attack them, they do a lot of damage. And let me just... Also, if the skull gets destroyed in combat, you have to pay an insurance money to get it back. So it's really important to explore, collect currency, extract materials, but at least you don't lose them forever.
And do the insurance companies sometimes say, sorry, that's it's not covered by our insurance?
You signed the wrong paper.
Yeah.
I see. It's monster damage.
No, it's it's the future. So it's still a future in which some things are better than our world.
Oh, that's awesome. The insurance always pays.
So now, but yeah, in the combat, like something I want to point out, it's really important to use the right art at the right time, especially when your team members are calling for something, because it's really difficult otherwise to heal yourself. Now I'm into overdrive mode, which is another ability of the skulls, which allows me to be extra powerful. And also something else I can show you now is that at any moment, even while I'm fighting, I can, too late, but I can go out of the skull while I'm in the combat. So I can also start the fight on foot and then jump in the robot and fight. So here we have these two characters. And at the beginning, they really don't trust you because they don't trust anybody. And you have to convince them that it's nice if they go back to live with you in New Los Angeles and you don't mean any harm to them.
Then they take residence in New LA and you can select them for quests, or they become accessible?
You can keep on helping them.
Okay, so they become more like quest givers.
Yeah, they become side characters. So these are Celica and Rock, by the way. And they will move back to the city. We can see it shortly, actually. And they will start... you can still keep on improving their relationship, basically.
What with the big guy?
So, yeah, the big guy, actually, if you hear the Japanese voice, is a very, very tiny, high-pitched voice, because he's actually very young for a member of his race. And he's really, really a nice guy. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. He doesn't want to fight at all.
So he isn't a playable character?
No. So even here again, I can really change my choices here. I can express concern for them and be worried, or I can be a guy that doesn't trust anybody myself and ask who they are, what they're doing. But I'll be the nice guy and express concern for them. Lynn is happy. But Celica is having none of it. She really doesn't trust us at all. And it's only now that Tatsu, who is also a resident of Mira, convinced them that, they help me, these guys, they can help you as well, then they will be convinced and they will start to live in New LA. So really, New LA is also this living environment that continually evolves and can really expand and change based on your choices and based on how long you are in the story and based on how many side quests you did, based on how many people you're trying to help. And yeah, so there you go. We saved Tatsu, and just like we saved them, so Tatsu has a very linear type of reasoning.
Yeah,
if Tatsu can trust me, then they can trust me
that
too.
should be good. So once you finish the quest, everybody moves automatically back to New LA, or do you have to fly back or select it with your...
No, once I finish the quest, Celica and Rock will teleport to New LA. They will just disappear and will appear in New LA. And I have to physically fly back to New LA, or I can actually simply teleport. I'm gonna teleport because we already saw, we already traveled quite a lot in the around the world.
So one thing I'd like to see, I think we don't have that much time left. Can you take the scouts and fight a really big enemy just to take a look how it's looking? Now you shot on little human-sized enemies.
Yep.
I would like to see how does it look to have just a big monster and you with the big scouts there.
Okay, let's just fly. So you see, like we give them the coordinates for New LA, and they say, yeah, we can manage on our own. And also you saw on the right part of the screen that the relationship was escape together, which is the initial part of the relationship. So now you want to see a big enemy, so let me fly out. Let's see if, oops, ceiling of the cave. Let me see if I can find something really big. Not big enough. I can teleport to Primordia again.
It was the first planet we saw.
Yeah, it was the first
first area, not
yeah.
planet. Yes.
And I can show you maybe.
So the interaction on the gamepad, you use it to select the areas. You also use to select the skills. So do you could you just tap to select skills on the gamepad, or do you have to?
No, you use the plus control pad to select the arts. On the gamepad, you always see the map, which now it looks very cluttered, but I can of course change the view. So these are all the probes that I have, for example, and this is just the map with the areas.
Okay.
And I keep it like this because it tells me to check what I have. So this is level 21, so still not big enough.
No, level 21 is so...
These guys are level 45. You can see how big they are. I get closer, and I'm probably going to die here, but
maybe it'll work out. So
so you're attacking them on different parts, or?
Yeah, so I can target them. Sorry. Oops.
Well, once you aggroed this enemy, the other one near, could it join the fight? Or?
Yes. It depends on the type of enemy. Some do. Automatically join if one member of their species is being attacked, and some don't. It really depends. So you see that there are different targets. Now I'm targeting one of the wings. I can also destroy parts of the monster. Actually, no. Now I have the tail, I believe. Yeah. So I can cut his tail off, and maybe he has a very powerful tail attack, and will not be able to do that anymore. And this is already from the very beginning of the game. I can simply lock on different parts of an enemy and attack that part. There are robots that maybe have like a cannon on their head. I can destroy the cannon, they will not be able to shoot from it anymore. So as you can see, they destroyed one robot already. I told you they were strong.
But he didn't even... Did he hit you?
Yeah, he's easy to me. If you see I'm almost dead actually.
Okay.
Actually, he didn't kill me, but he destroyed my skull. I mean, he's almost destroying my skull. He destroyed Lynn's skull. And actually, I'm trying to run away now to maybe be able to still be alive for a little bit and show you something else. He's still there on me.
What's the level cap? How high can you go?
Well, you can go fairly high. If I remember correctly, it's level 60, but there are monsters that are... level 90, but there are monsters that are level 120, level 140, for example. So you really need to have very good items, for example, to fight them. So, again, you see now that my team members, I'm going to zoom in, my team members are on foot because they don't have a robot anymore, they don't have a skull anymore. And let's go closer to this guy. I can go on foot, so you can have a better sense of how big this guy is. So you can see that creatures can be really massive in this world, just like the world is massive. And maybe we can finish by showing you a little bit more of the other continents and show how the environment changes. So we saw Primordia and Noctilium. I'm gonna go to Oblivia, which is a desertic area. And if I teleport, my skells, at least the ones I have, will teleport with me, even if I'm on foot.
Okay.
So I don't need to pick them up and fly away. But you see, my skull is just there, hanging around.
But you always have, when you're in a certain area, you have to go back to your skull, or could you just call it to you?
No, you cannot call him to you. You have to walk to it. So this is a desertic environment that has this giant ring. It's a mystery. It's maybe from a previous civilization. At the moment, we don't know. There are sandstorms here that are very strong. And then we have this, one of my favorite parts, which is Sylvalum, which is, it really looks like completely alien. Like, it really looks like a completely alien world from, well, maybe a different time. And you see you have like more constructions that look like man-made, but not, I mean, made by somebody, but not exactly you. This is Xenoblade Chronicles X, which comes out exclusively on Wii U this December.
Okay.
And there's hundreds and hundreds of hours of gameplay in this game. You can play also online and in single player. I really hope you're looking forward to December when the game comes out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I am. I will play it, of course. I love the first one. Very curious. I envied the people I know that are able to speak Japanese and play it already.
Yeah.
So
in your face once it comes in December. So yeah, thank you very much. It was very enlightening, and I have now a better impression of the game just seeing a little bit of video, a little bit of there. So it seems to retain a lot that made Xenoblade Chronicles special and add to it. So yeah. I'm looking forward to it, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me, guys.
Thank you, Filippo.
Thank you everyone for watching at home.
Yes, so, das war's mit Xenoblade Chronicles X im Dezember 2015.
2015, genau.
2015, ich muss ja schon konzentrieren, dass ich mit den Daten nicht durcheinander komme. Kommt das Spiel raus für Wii U und ist, glaube ich, nochmal ein richtiger fetter AAA-Titel für die Wii U.
Ist eine sehr coole Sache. Also für mich 2015 neben Fatal Frame, also Project Zero, was auch ein cooler Horror-Titel wird, das Ding, worauf ich mich am meisten dieses Jahr freue.
Ja. Also ich freue mich auch tierisch drauf und ich kann es kaum erwarten und ich hoffe, ich werde die Zeit finden, weil es ist schon sehr zeitintensiv. Es ist ja so ein bisschen ein massively Multiplayer-Game für Singleplayer.
Ja, alleine das Erkunden eben. Ne? Also ich hab viel Final Fantasy XIV gespielt, ich habe hauptsächlich erkundet die ganze Zeit. Und hier, wenn ich schon sehe, wenn es ähnlich groß sein soll von den Stundenanzahl her, aber von der Gegend mehr als das erste Xenoblade, da habe ich mich ja auch hunderte von Stunden lang gefühlt immer rumbewegt, immer wieder was Neues gefunden. Ja.
Okay, das war's mit uns. Wir geben ab an die angeschlossenen Funkhäuser. Thanks for watching if you're watching in English. Bienvenue.
Bienvenue.
If you're watching in Swedish.
And Yassas if you're watching in Greek. Great.
Thank you. Das war's mit uns. Bis später. Tschüss.
Ciao.